If you tell me what you want, I can tell you how to get it. Hello, my name is Pearl Neverfail, and I've never failed at anything before in my life. Now look, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. That's none of my business. But if you tell me what you want, I can tell you how to get it. You see, I was once like you. Actually, not even close to being who you are. You see, I was born into an incredibly wealthy family. My father was a genius, and my mother was a supermodel. And I, as the prodigious only child, had every advantage a child could have. This afforded me the time to work on my best-selling books and DVD series, and to become the multi-billionaire that I am today. The techniques do work. I put them to work, and now I'm even more rich than my parents were. And they were filthy, stinking rich. Let's look back to when you graduated from college, when you had that look of optimism on your face. You remember that look, don't you? Well, you may have forgotten. I know I didn't, but you may have, because you don't have anything to be optimistic about anymore, do you? No, you don't. You see, you're humiliated, you're humbled. Let's face it, you're a flat-on-your-ass loser. Well, that's okay. That's why you're here today. You've taken the most important step. Good for you! You're here today because you're sick and tired of being stuck in a rut. You're tired of being one of the zillions of bottom feeders barely able to make it in the world today. Well, it's time to turn all of that around. You might say, how, Pearl? How? How? I'll tell you how. We become what we think about. What does that mean, we become what we think about? Does it mean if we think of a bosom, we become a bosom? Of course not. That's ridiculous. It means if we think successfully, we become successful. We become the person we think we are. Now I'm going to give you the most important lesson you will ever learn in your lifetime. When you wake up in the morning, most of you take a shower. Some shave before you take a shower, some shave after you take a shower. It doesn't make any difference. But many of you get confused about ridiculous things like this, and that's why you're so confused. Forget about shaving for a minute. Look at your face in the mirror. Look at your tired, sagging, droopy, bloated face in the mirror and tell yourself 1,000 times, I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. I like myself, 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 I like myself. It is quite possible that after a few days of this, you will begin to hate yourself. It is also quite possible that everyone around you will begin to hate you. But it's extremely important that you continue to repeat these simple words 1,000 times each and every morning. Now at this point, some of you might be thinking, this is a bit excessive. If you feel this way, you're a loser, and I pity you. Now why do only 3% of the people in the world make it really big? You don't know, otherwise you wouldn't be here. It's because they tell themselves, I like myself 1,000 times each and every morning. You see, they don't need handheld mirrors anymore because they now have huge mansions with expansive grounds and elderly parents who wander the grounds, peeing willy-nilly all over the place because they're incontinent and delirious. Now let's talk about choice for a moment. Let's talk about options. You have the option of lying in bed for a living. You can choose to smoke hundreds of cigarettes a day. You can smoke dope, snort coke, shoot smack. You could go out with prostitutes. You could eat chocolate fudge sundaes until you explode. But let's face it, what's that going to do for you? What's that going to do for you? It's going to make you a fat, smelly, wired drunk with VD and potentially a very bad cough. You might want to consider making another choice. I'm now going to give you the greatest piece of advice anyone has ever given you. You've got to have goals. You've got to write down your goals. Let me repeat that. You've got to write down your goals. If you don't write down your goals, they won't be written down, and that would be catastrophic. So grab a piece of paper and write. Wait a minute. Do you even know how to write? Well, most of you do, and for those of you who don't, write down something that you'll be able to recognize later. It'll be like your own secret code. So grab a piece of paper and write down exactly what you want. What is that deep, burning desire within you? And I'm not talking about that burning sensation you get when you urinate. I'm not a urologist, and I'm not talking about your dick right now. I'm talking about your goals. And I don't think I have to tell you, there's a big difference between your goals and your dick. So write down those goals. It doesn't take long. 30 to 40 minutes. Most of you spend more time than that wishing you were somebody else. Now let me tell you how to do it. When you come home from work, you're tired, sure. We're all tired. Get over it. Put on some classical music. If you're a right-brained person, listen with your left ear. If you're a left-brained person, listen with your right ear. Maybe you don't have a brain. If this is the case, just stare at the blank piece of paper in front of you. You're a vegetable, and hopefully someone will be by soon to feed you. For everyone else, think of all the lousy things that have happened to you during your lifetime. Bunch them up in your brain in an imaginary biodegradable brain bag and flush them down an imaginary toilet. Now, if you don't have an imaginary toilet, go to an imaginary hardware store and pretend to buy one. Pretend they're on sale. Get yourself a bargain. We're now at the critical phase. It's time to begin the visualization process of achieving your goals. Let's say you want a house. Let's say you want a house in the Hollywood Hills. That's a good goal. That's a great goal. That's a tremendous goal. Chances are you're never going to reach that goal because, let's face it, you're broke. In essence, what I'm trying to tell you is, you've got to put down that crack pipe and pick up a book every once in a while and read it. Because let's face it, you're the gardener for your own pea-sized brain, and if you don't tend to it, no one else is going to. So do yourself a favor and buy my complete set of DVDs. It's full of the tools that you'll need to create the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, my name is Pearl Neverfail, and I've never failed at anything before in my life. What do you want?
I bought your lousy DVD collection, and I'm still broke!
It's got a money-back guarantee!
Here's your money-back guarantee!
Goals!